Hey everyone, it's Dr. Anna DeLopo, and I am working today at elementsandharmonyacupuncture.com, but today we're going to really be talking about a personal protection class that my friends, Professor Michael Donvito and Professor Jimmy Terrell, they're going to be visiting from the East Coast April 6 and 7 to teach an amazing weekends class on personal protection. And I will give you the URL. It's April 6 and 7. Go to watch.eliteu.com/programs with an S /0424CA. I'll put that on the link on your channel. I'm going to be putting this on, platform I'll be putting this on. Again, it's watch.eliteu.com/programs/0424CA. And it is, if you register before March 1st, or I think by March 1st, it's $725. And after March 1st, it's $825. Professor Donvito is allowing two payments. Definitely take these classes. It's going to be worth your time. Why should you take these classes? Well, one, you check out who these people are. Hit me up at 619-341-4341 and I'll tell you who they are. At the end of this, I'll explain to you who these amazing professors are. But the reason why I am promoting this is because there's some crazy stuff going on here. I was just talking to my friend, and she told me that in 2010, I believe, she was attacked. She was running 6:30 in the evening, and she was pushed. She was running on Alicia Parkway, and she was pushed down into the gully. And she's Latina, or she has a Latina last name, and she was pushed by a Latino gentleman, and he, had the intention to do malicious things to her. And I said, "How'd you get out of it?" She said she fought her way out, and she ran all the way home with no phone, nothing. She had nothing on her. She had to run all the way home. That's only 13 years ago. Just a few weeks, I think last month or so, there was a young lady, I believe she was 21 years old, and she was murdered by, I believe, a coworker. I might be getting the details incorrect, but I believe she was in her early 20s. And she was stalked by someone who worked, I believe, at a company right in front of her store or wherever, her restaurant or whatever. And this is in Laguna Beach. And just a few months ago, there were some, I believe, 12-year-old kids that were followed into a restroom at Irvine Spectrum. I'm here in Orange County. This is all in Orange County, you guys. This is South Orange County. Alicia Parkway, that's South Orange County. The Laguna Beach is South Orange County. And the thing that just happened a few months ago, they followed these kids, 12-year-old kids. I have three, and the middle one is 13 years old. Anyways, they followed these 12-year-old kids into the restroom and stole their Nikes. And I had gone out to dinner with my friend who's a doctor of physical therapy, holistic physical therapy, and she said, "I know the person who did it." And I talked to my friend who's a law enforcer with the sheriff's department up in Santa Ana, and she said, "They're not going to jury. They're just going to get a slap on the wrist." One thing that I learned from Professor Jimmy Terrell is, when they lived out here in California, he shared with me a lot of things. And one of the things he shared was not just be stronger, be faster, be more difficult to kill. It's you want to be an asset. You want your kids to be an asset in your ability to protect yourselves. You don't want them to, there's a reason why as busy as my kids are, they train. My kids train. My daughter dances 13 hours a week. She's in 3 dance teams. That includes a solo, and she still trains on Wednesdays. So the only time she doesn't train is if we're out of town. I got my 6-year-old kid, my boy, and he's started when he was 4. And I assist those classes. I assist his class, and I assist the teenagers class. I do my best to not coach my own kids, but I'm in the classes. And I asked them, "Do you want me to be in the classes?" And they said yes. There was a time when I used to just watch. I didn't assist in any of my older child's classes. Her dad did. So one thing I want to share about that Irvine Spectrum event was that my patient told me about it. It was a bad situation. my patient told me about it. So I told my daughter, I advised her on how to hang out and where to use the restroom. So at that point, we walked around Irvine Spectrum, and I said, don't use this restroom. You go into Nordstrom or you go to Cheesecake Factory. And she knows exactly what to do. My kids have taken with National Force Training Academy. They've taken, and they're going to take these classes on what to do if there's an active shooter situation. So they've taken active shooters classes with Professor Jimmy Terrell. Let me tell you a little bit about Professor Jimmy Terrell. His company is National Force Training Academy. This class that's happening on April 6th and 7th, that's with Elite U. Um, Professor Jimmy helps out Professor Michael. And so anyways, about Jimmy, he's got 10 black belts. These are off the top of my head. I know he has 10 black belts. When he was out here in California, he was one of our jiu-jitsu professors. He's a law enforcer. I believe when he's 19-0, when he fought MMA professionally, and he's Krav Maga certified instructor. And you can check out National Force Training Academy also on Facebook and Instagram. Professor Michael Don Vito is a 5-stripe black belt, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Check him out. He's a personal protection SME. With Jimmy Terrell, he's an MMA world champion, LEO / 2-stripe BJJ black belt. I don't know if he might be 3 stripes by now, but that's what I have here, and a law enforcer. And then one of the owners of Elite U. The owner is the owner of the redeployed U.S. Army Special Forces, retired, and then there's a few other professors, but I believe it's definitely Michael Don Vito and Jimmy Terrell who'll be teaching out here. And this is really important to me because this is something that I know they already had their own intentions, but we've been working closely together. I really want to see this become a success. The event will be held April 6th and 7th, and it's going to be held at my gym, at my home gym. Brazilian Top Team. You see me wear the sweater a lot. It's actually, honestly, one of my favorite sweaters. And it's Total MMA, Total Mixed Martial Arts, and Brazilian Top Team Orange County is our gym. Check us out. It's in North Tustin. Huge gratitude to our professors, Professor Juliano Prado and Professor Adriano Nazal. But Juliano's allowing this event to happen there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very, very important. April 6th and 7th, make it worth your time. It will be worth your time. Make the time, because when people say, well, it's very expensive. Well, how much is your life worth? Like that young lady that got killed, I believe it was in November, or, someone put me on this group text. And so I'm in this group text and I get these pictures and these horrific messages sometimes, like, so-and-so, this happened. And what it does for me, it just instills the fact that I still have to keep training, all 5'1" of me. And I have to make sure my kids train. I'm not always in town. I want to make sure that if they're hanging out at the mall or if something happens at school, they know exactly what to do. My husband is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt at our gym. I'm a brown belt. My kids know this is not an option to quit. It is an option to keep training, and it's a privilege to train. And the fact that these two gentlemen, Michael Don Vito and Jimmy Terrell, both professors in these respective martial arts, are willing to come out here and help us Californians out. Yeah, there's a lot of classes out here, but these are top-notch professors. Go to eliteu.com. Check out National Force Training Academy. This event is being sponsored by eliteu.com. Professor Michael Don Vito is putting his whole heart into making sure that they provide the best, most effective training. I took a class out in Redondo Beach with my colleagues, my jiu-jitsu martial arts colleagues at Redondo Beach. It was being hosted over there a few years ago, and it was top-notch training. You will learn how to defend yourself with your own hands, and if you have any everyday carry weapons, it will be very helpful to understand what to do. And repetition is a mother of skill. And just because you saw something once or you took a class once doesn't mean that you stop. It's like you wouldn't say, well, I ate once, so then I'm going to stop eating. or I practiced this once, so I'm going to stop practicing. No, you do it consistently. You know, I don't know how long I've been dancing hip hop, but you do it all the time because it's fun. And these classes, many of you may not be involved with consistent weekly classes, but now you have the opportunity. If your child is young enough, I mean, every time my 19-year-old has traveled, she's traveled quite a bit, but definitely the two times when she went out to England for the first time, I had her train with Professor Jimmy Terrell privately for really learning how to understand what to do, so she's not like this hanging out like a teenager, and the next thing you know we have a taken situation. And also when we went to France, I had her learn some um, very effective personal protection skills directly from Professor Josh Kim, also black belt at our gym at Total MMA Studios. So I just want to let you know that in my own family, it's urgent. It's a constant state of urgency, because when people have evil intentions out there, and when people don't care about you, there's something that Jimmy Terrell says frequently that rings in my head, which is, my life is worth more than your freedom. Because I don't know what the judicial system is going to do for you if you do anything to attack anyone that I know and love, or myself. I'm my responsibility to take care of me, and my responsibility to take care of my kids. That's on me. So I'm not going to depend on other people. I'm not going to depend on if the cops are going to get there within 2 minutes to 10 minutes. One of my great friends, Thomas, he called. He's trained in martial arts and Kembo, and I've known him since the 90s. I did a little bit of training with him, and he has a business down in San Diego. And there was a situation, and he called the law enforcers. And unfortunately, in that case, they showed up the next day, and he went off on them because he said, my mom, they're in business. It's a family business. He's like, my mom's here. My niece is here. It's a whole clan of people that work together. And he said, if you weren't here. So, oftentimes law enforcers are able to get there right away. And then there are some times where they don't get there right away. So if you think, like my friend who was pushed down the gully on Alicia Parkway. She had no phone on her. And something that I learned in Michael Don Vito's class, Professor Michael's class, was, I'm not teaching this class just to, help big guys. If you're a big, fast, strong dude, yeah, you have more than likely a better chance. But what if you're the one attacking me? If you have a wife out there, a sister, or if you're just, the kind of gentleman who is not like a total jock, this is the opportunity for you to learn. Don't ever say, if you know me, that you didn't have the opportunity. It is right now, January 12th. You have until April 6th and 7th to get it together. It's a 2-day event. You're going to be getting a lot of information. People care enough to come out here from Florida to California. And if you're not in town, come here. Or contact me, and I'll hook you up with Professor Michael Don Vito's information, Professor Jimmy Terrell's information. They want to help. Something that I tell people is, these people, they don't need to teach. Like, I don't need to teach. I don't need to share anything about what I've been learning in Chinese medicine since 1994. I don't need to help. I don't need to teach. I can just focus on my practice. These people, they have their own practices. They have their own schools. Professor Michael Don Vito, he has his own jiu-jitsu school. They're doing their own thing. They don't need to travel to the West Coast to help us out, but they are. And I know money's tight. We're all feeling it. All of us. We're all feeling it. And, but how much is your life worth? That girl, I promise you, that girl who was killed in Laguna Beach, how much would her parents have spent? So, I'm just getting a little emotional because when I was younger, I was in Chinese medical school. This is when I was in my 20s. My mom got attacked at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I didn't expect to get emotional like this, but us women, we have to know how to protect ourselves. So I just want to thank Michael and Jimmy for doing me a huge favor on working around my schedule and going out of your way. They're going to be packing their own stuff, traveling, flying across the country, and they're doing this for us. And we can ask anyone in California to help us out. Yeah, I'm
asking my friends who care enough, who, may even just break even, but I hope to at least make a good profit, to come out here to help. I trained one time with Thomas, my friend. He's like a brother to me. Down in San Diego by a Filipino guru, a knife fighter. Like um, he's trained many people that professional MMA fighters, and his knife was like this folded, like this, like think of like a short Filipino guy, and his thigh, the size of the knife was folded like that, and that famous fighter Inoue, Professor Inoue, had just taught an MMA jiu-jitsu class at that MMA jiu-jitsu school down in San Diego. And he was in the class, and he was very humble, and he was very teachable. And Inoue was in the class with me. And something that this professor, this guru, said to us was, I don't care if he gets it. Everyone there was a dude. I was the only chick. He goes, I care. And he was pointing at me. If she gets it, or if my Lola, my grandma gets it, or if my daughter gets it, or if my niece gets it. It's us small people who have to be very realistic of what can happen to us. My girlfriend that got attacked and got pushed down the gully, she's not a big girl, and even if you are a big girl, are you fast? So are you strong enough? Are you stronger than a man? Are you, like a dude that's going to come at you with a gun or a knife? Like, do you have it in you? And there have been some situations where I was fortunate enough where I was just able to not be a victim. So I hope you all, thank you for watching this far. I hope you all find the time, make the time, and put aside the money to make this happen. 2 payments. He's allowing it to happen in 2 payments. Check out the website. Hit me up at 619-341-4341. Against my cell phone is 619-341-4341. Go to watch.eliteu.com/programs/0424CA. I'll have it in the platform that I'm going to put this down on. And I hope that, this video helps you reprioritize, what's more important. You're making money, you're going to work, you're paying your house, you're paying your cars, you're, able to take advantage of a lot of privileges that many people are fighting real hard to protect for us in this country. Yet if there's people here in your county who are, don't have the best intention, you need to know how to protect yourself. And that should be priority. So if you're investing and saving for the future, but you can't protect yourself right now, what's it all for? Okay? So, just consider that this may be one of the most important classes you will ever take in your life. And just for the record, Professor Michael has offered to pay me, and I'm not taking a penny. I'm not taking a penny because I want him to make the profits. I want him and Jimmy to know that this is worth their time, worth their effort, and they're doing me a favor by allowing me to invite my friends. And they're holding it at my gym so that it's convenient for me and the people I love. And I really hope that this becomes something that you accomplish in the year 2024, and it encourages you to perhaps sign up at Total MMA Studios or any other martial arts school. Jiu-jitsu is one tool. There are other tools. There are other tools of martial arts, and it's a consistent and never-ending learning process. You don't learn it once. You don't learn how to cook one time. You don't learn how to bake one time. You don't learn how to do acupuncture one time. You don't learn herbs one time. You don't learn how to massage one time. These are things in my life. I've rescued quite a few dogs, but I showed dogs for 8 years. You don't learn how to show dogs one time. It's a consistent and frequent. All right? So I don't know how many times I've taken hip-hop classes, but I had one today. And, it's just, you just keep going. You keep doing it. All right, so thank you for watching this close to 20-minute video. I look forward to hearing from all of you. Text me at 619-341-4341. I'll send you the link, and take advantage of the discount before March 1.
let's make it clear to Professor Michael Don Vito that this is something you want. All right, take care.